What podcast reviewer 37 describes as an indiscriminate hellish ride that I would not wish on my worst enemy. The industry's elite have said time and again, man, fuck those guys. Get ready, if your ears had butts, they'd about to be fucked. Welcome to the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show.
It's true. Not all men are created equal. That's the name of the episode.
Yeah. Not all humans are created equal.
Yeah, not all humans are created equal. Well, here we are back for another wonderful episode of the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. I'm BFN Ginger along here with BFN Hair, and we're gonna knock some shit out today. But before we get into it,
BFN hobo,
BFN homeless,
BFN vagabond,
or BFN street dweller,
BFN derelict.
That's a good one. That is a good one. That's maybe the best one. That's we should change the name of the show. BFN derelict.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you want to see our full menu of podcasts that actually have topics dedicated every week, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com and hear all those. And you can listen anywhere podcasts are available. If you want to follow us on social media at Game Rage Magazine, on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Mag, on Twitter /X. If you want to follow BFN Derelict here, you can fucking go to at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. And you can also tune into his podcast, All Gas No Trash, which is conveniently located in the Game Rage Podcast Network. If you want to hear about music and shit. So
Before we start off,
yeah,
I would like to say I'm very disappointed in all of you for not helping us get to the finish line. It's 1565. We provide so much content for you, and you betrayed this week.
You know, I will say this is not on us. We put out some of the best content of the month this week, and you guys shit the bed. Shit the fucking bed. I thought by today we were gonna fucking have it in the bag. Easy peasy. Now the last 2 days, double digits only. I'm like, this is dog shit.
This might be this could very easily turn into Stockholm syndrome. I'm not sure yet. We'll see about that. I mean, this is an empty threat and it's not serious at all. But I'm considering kidnapping your pets and taking them into my adoptive family and giving them the life that they deserve, because I know how much that would hurt you. So just take that into consideration, and that this is not a real threat. But I'm making it seem as though that is the case. So for dramatic effect.
You know what the move is too, for people that have kids that are like, you know, between like, I don't know, 8 and like 17, or maybe even a little older than that. We do like Bane did, and we have them working in the sewers to build a terrorist network. and then we use their children against them to commit acts of terror in our name.
Hey, dude, one of my favorite movies of all time, the 1990 TMNT movie.
Oh yeah, man.
When Shredder adopts pretty much all New York.
Yeah, he takes in all the children, the homeless children and the bad kids.
Ah, man, he made them street dealers.
Yeah.
Had a sweet headquarters where there was like skate ramps literally everywhere. Arcades, drugs, like,
yeah, dude, they had
menthol or
oh man, yeah, you want menthol or regular, baby? Like,
dude, that shit was like my fucking favorite. I'm like, see, whether you want to admit it or not, Shredder was a great father figure to all these orphan children, because he ended up teaching them physical combat.
Yeah.
So that demonstrates that he cared about their physical wellness.
Yeah.
I don't know about the drugs though, but
well, listen, it's okay. Everybody can do a little bit of drugs and you'd be fine, you know?
He brought them into a family archetype, maybe 1,000 children to one parental figure, but actually, no, there was what's his name? Toshi, or what was his name? You know, his second in command.
I don't remember the guy's name.
I forgot his name. I don't want to say it's Tensai because that's A Train or
yeah, Lord Tensai from wrestling.
I forgot his name, but in any case, Shredder was an excellent father figure, and one of my favorite scenes, man. Talk about baller fucking, like when you think about great visual storytelling, man, that scene where you see Shredder come in and there's an elongated shadow of the doorway or the gateway when he walks into the giant scaffold area where all the children are like looking in, and you see Shredder's elongated shadow makes him look larger than fucking life.
Oh yeah.
One of the coolest moments, despite the fact that it's this movie is based on a comic book, still one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah. Good God, Shredder is the third man. Yeah, dude. That
sorry.
No, that Shredder, the ultimate icon. On this most recent Father's Day, Shredder, father to millions.
Millions, honestly. I mean, shit. I thought I never knew what to make this. Like, I don't know what to do with it because it's well, I could make it a gamer tag is probably the most predictable thing to do, but I wanted to have a gamer tag Roku Saki, like Roku the
yeah.
But I know his actual name is Roku Saki, but yeah, something stupid like that, or Heroku, which is like this platform, this IDE thing for program. Anyways, besides the point, but anyways, getting back to the numbers, man, fuck y'all. You disappointed me.
Indeed. And now we have to do extra work. You're making us do extra shit because you guys are getting ready to go on vacation, or you're currently on vacation,
or you have children,
or you have
married,
jobs. Fucking losers. You should just be listening. We put out, man, on a weekly basis, we put out like fucking probably like 18 hours of fucking shit. You should just be doing that. It's a part-time job to listen to all of our stuff. And if you're not dedicated, you're just an NPC.
To play on the opposite side, now you're making me question if the shit we're doing is good enough. And maybe we should be taking it into possibly the third or fourth gear to increase the quality of what we're doing, which I think we have done in some regard with our reels. Because now we're starting to, all right, you fucked us on the numbers for podcasts, but you're kind of making up for a little bit in the social media. So,
and I will say there is a direct correlation in what we're posting, that the numbers are coming from the stuff we're posting. But
I still would fight you on that one, because until there's actual, I mean, if we actually
is on the days that you post.
Hold up.
All right, go ahead.
All right, because I think the only verifiable way is if we make a link tree, which it's almost worse because it makes people click through one extra thing, right? Yeah. So instead of having, okay, so you can have 5 links available to your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And that's your limit. That's all you could have. But with Linktree, you have one link that you post in your bio, and that link will take you to pretty much everything that you would want. There's no limit. There's no cap on the number of links you can list, right? That it itself has, like, you can have your own Linktree account, and it can tell you when people are doing click-throughs or whatever.
Oh, so it tells
you would see it.
Oh.
But because of the fact that people on social media don't often, or at least I suspected that people didn't click through to our links for podcast episodes and shit, it didn't make the direct connection between the reels that we were making and the podcast episodes that they were supposed to be connected to. So, like, I never felt like there was a direct correlation between that, or reels, and our numbers that we were turning out for podcast episodes for that specific week.
Yeah.
But Linktree would, I think, help in some regard to say, all right, when we post a reel and we put it in our story, and the link is through our Linktree or whatever, and they click on the link tree, and then they go to the link that they want to for, like, the specific podcast or the website, that we would have a better idea of, like, how many people are actually going through our shit.
Yeah, right. True. And I will say this too. I also kind of think that there is a correlation between, because, like, we've been doing this week, it's been one reel of
the
interview, and then one other reel of one of the podcasts, right? And so every other week when we were doing 2 reels of 2 different podcasts, that had better numbers. So I'm kind of thinking maybe when we have interviews that we're teasing, we stick to the 2 of like one of a podcast, and then one of the interview. Like, so you maintain the 2 always, and then if we have an interview line or an interview that we're teasing, that's just going to be a third one for the day. So instead of doing 2, we're doing 3 when we have an interview queued up. And then when we don't have any interviews queued up, it's just back to the 2 a day of like, whatever. Or maybe even we do 3 a day. I don't know. But I think if we do the link tree for July, I think maybe that we should incorporate that. And see if it works, just to see if just see what happens in July.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try it. But the thing that bothers me is that I know people are lazy.
Yeah.
People have told me that they don't understand how to get to our shit sometimes. And I also would argue that people are stupid.
That's true because, if you have like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can literally type in the name of our podcast and it fucking comes up right away. It's not hard.
Yeah, but even with me instructing people to go to the link in the bio, knowing that the link is highlighted in blue, that's not enough for people to find out. Like, people are that naive about shit.
Fuck, man.
So making the link tree, clicking on it, and then finding out that there's more links is also problematic because not everybody understands that they're supposed to click on something.
All right, what about this? Because we have YouTube, right?
Yes.
What if we just, instead of like putting, because I would like to put a link to every podcast so that we could see what people are specifically clicking on.
We'll end up doing that. We'll just make the link tree so that way every link for every individual podcast, like the RSS thing, has its own link, and then the website, and I think that'll be it, and the YouTube channel.
Right, because everything that's all of our shit's going to be under 2 hours now because YouTube doesn't let us do that. So everything that we've been doing, all the new shit for sure is going to be on YouTube because it cross posts it when I put the episode out to YouTube. So everything's on our YouTube channel. And maybe people know what YouTube is, like, as opposed to like people that don't listen to podcasts might not know how to use Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
But it's just like Google, but you can search through all the podcasts that are on there. You just type in the name.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That is kind of crazy, man. Like, how? I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but that's why I don't want to completely believe that the reels are directly affecting, because I can't even personally believe, especially because people have told me that they don't understand how to find certain things for they want to listen to a clip.
Yeah.
But then I just don't fucking know at this point.
Yeah, I don't know either. And what's weird too is this week right now, this final week of the month is on track to likely be the worst week of the month, but just because we're lagging behind right now, by whatever, what is this, Wednesday or Thursday now? Well, Wednesday by Wednesday of every week, we're at I don't know, fucking every week we're at almost either above 300 or we're right around there.
Well, consider this week is roughly the beginning of when people would take vacations for 4th of July. So maybe people are planning their getaways and their vacations or holidays that they plan to go on. So
it could be
I don't think it's directly I don't think we're directly responsible for how the numbers have turned out. Like, the episodes aren't good. So maybe it's just
aren't. I think, maybe it will lead into July getting them to go back and listen to the shit that they missed the last few weeks because they've been doing whatever. Because if you look at our shit, by Wednesday of week 1, we were at 316. By Wednesday of week 2, we were at 320. By Wednesday of week 3, we were at 365. Now Wednesday of week 4, we're at 269. True. So granted, we do only need to get to 353 to hit what we need to get. And so right now we're, 1481, 1565 minus 14.
It's like 80 or something.
Equals, it's 84 is the number. We need to fucking get 84 downloads. So these 5 or 6 episodes that we're going to be putting out right now need to get.
I think totally will. Yeah.
Well, and also we're going to have me and Frank and probably Brent are going to record some shit on Saturday night. So, fuck that should get, and then because again the month ends Sunday night is the last night of the month, so Monday starts the new month, so we have until Sunday night to get there, which I think is more than reasonable. I don't think that's gonna fucking.
We just had the good fortune of getting ahead each week so that It was like a jump start for week 4.
Yeah. And now are we being greedy? Because we only see, we were like, oh shit, we got to 1,000 faster than we did 9 days faster than the month before. We got to the 1,400, which is what our goal was just to get to 1,400. Now we surpassed that, and now we're like, oh man. Well, because every time we hit the goal, now we're moving the goal. We just keep moving the goalpost forward. Well, so
I'm also not satisfied. Even when we hit 1,400, I'm like, we could do better.
We could do better. Yeah. That's why I was like, you know what, 1,565, we could do that and do more than we did in all of 2023.
It's still good to accomplish this goal anyways, even if it was just a arbitrary secondary goal that
True.
You mostly said.
Yes, correct. It
didn't really matter to me. I just thought 1,400 is where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that, just for the sake of ending on a really good fucking note.
Yeah.
For pretty much the 6 months that we've gotten through for this year. I think it'd be an excellent way to cap off the first half of the year with. I don't know if the second half is going to go nearly as well. I feel like the holidays are going to be disruptive to what's going to go on, but hey, the fine people that are listening might reward us with your following and listenership, because the numbers continue to go up despite this week. And yes, everything I said previously about you guys being shitheads was a joke.
Yeah,
I hope you figured that out, because if you can't even figure that out, then I don't expect you to be able to click a link for fucking Instagram or for any social media for that matter.
That is true. If people thought that we were being serious, then they probably are they're the problem, and we don't want. You're not helping us anyways, so fuck off. I guess.
But
Game Rage Giga Chads.
But I think it is important that you unfortunately you spoke it into existence. Therefore, we have to fucking complete that goal, because pretty much since the start of this, well, not that we've hit every mark, but it's been consistent the last 3 months. And this wasn't a goal that I wanted to give up on either.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we don't hit 1565 by Sunday night, then I will consider this month a failure. All right. Yeah. Regardless of the other accomplishments that we made, I will consider this a failure, and I will be fucking extra pissed.
And the number itself, it's actually the first 4 months of us starting, right?
Yeah, that 1565 is all of 2023, which was the first 4 months of us having shit out and published. So to say that, just even the month before of saying that we fucking did more than we did in the whole first quarter of the year last month. I mean, shit, that was unbelievable to see that exponential level of growth.
It's not exponential.
Well, whatever it is.
I mean, for the sake of like being bombastic or over the top, yeah, like sure.
Yeah.
But in literal sense, no, it's not exponential.
Yes, okay, I'm not being okay, maybe this is leading to our point of how we're stupid. Well, at least maybe I'm stupider than you, but
well, I wouldn't consider myself all that intelligent either. Just judging by the fact that I couldn't even understand what the fuck I was reading from people that are writing research literature about theoretical and experimental chemistry, things people can't even fucking comprehend. That, well, shit. Before we even get to that, should we just get on it right now?
What else you got before we get into that?
Because I kind of wanted to talk about like the fact that I feel as though the changes that are being made within the company itself, and even how we approach things or the perspective itself, that I mean, dude, I'm looking, not that I'm reading entire books or anything, but I do like looking at other people that have had success in different fields or whatever the fuck it might be. And seeing like what minutia of like information I like, or I think could be contributing. Like the thing that we found out recently, the Toyota Way.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was interesting to me. And especially the part that talked about not exceeding what you set out to do. So if you had a goal,
man,
of bench pressing 250, but you know you can hit 255 or 260, that you don't do it because what you set out to do is you shouldn't go for no more or no less either.
Right.
because maybe overexerting yourself might mean suffering in quality, I suppose. But, and it kind of goes to this thing about, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Kaizen, which is like a Japanese principle about incremental improvements.
Right.
But there's like a number of fucking things that can be like the 14 principles of like the Toyota way. And that was one thing that stood out. And I thought that was really interesting. And I think that was like something that we just talked about.
Yeah, we talked about it the other day. And I feel like we're fucking up though, because like doing just enough. Well, maybe not though. It's like this is where I'm a fucking idiot, because the thing about setting the goal and then just doing what you need to do to get the goal, right? Like, we set the goal at the beginning of the month to do 1,400, right? And then once we got that, we're like, all right, cool. We're doing the opposite of that, but we're only doing enough to get to each little goal, right? It's not like we're like making, like, to get to 1,565, we're not going to make 10 fucking episodes. We only need 84 downloads. So like, whatever, we're going to do fucking 4 or 5 just to make sure we get it, right? Like, just that's all we need to do to probably hit that. Mm-hmm. So while we are continuing to just move the goalpost every time we hit it, we're only doing enough just to hit each incremental goal. So I think maybe we're not fucking up on the sense of maybe most people would be satisfied with the 1,400 and then just coast till the end of the month and save a bunch of shit for the next month. Whereas, no, we could do better than this. Let's make the goal now this month incrementally higher to 1,565. It's only another 165 downloads. It's incremental. That's not that much. So let's just try to hit that goal. And then once we hit that goal, I mean, there'll only be a couple of days left in the month anyway, so we're just going to coast because like there's only a couple of days. And then we'll save what we may have exported extra out there. We'll just save that for now to first week of July. Whereas like, oh, cool, we're going to hit the 1,565 where we would have recorded on Sunday night, which is still June, and that would have put out and been for June. Nah, we'll just record Monday night, which is the first week of or first day of July. We're gonna start the night out strong. We're gonna start July out strong because we're gonna have like probably, because there was other shit we talked about doing tonight that we're not gonna fucking get to because we did extra episodes of wrestling. We're doing this BFN episode. So Monday we're gonna have probably 5 or 6 episodes at least to fucking go off of, and shit, start off literally the first day of the month strong as hell, since we're going to have hit the 1,565. I hope. And then I'm also thinking about if we hit the 1,565 before Saturday, right? Thinking about the shit that me and Frank and potentially Brent are going to do.
Just not having it.
Just hold that off. Don't publish it. Hold it off. Publish it all on Monday night when we fucking do it. Just because fuck it.
It doesn't do any good to put it up for this month.
Yeah. Why handicap ourselves for this month by making, okay, cool, we hit the goal. That's all we need to do. We don't need to put out any more. If we get additional downloads off of what we're doing tonight, because that we needed to hit 1,565, if we go over that, hey, cool, whatever, no big deal. We went over it. So what? But we're not going to add another 4 or 5 episodes and then make that number even fucking higher. No, save it for the next month.
Just to set, well, not exactly set ourselves up for failure, but to create maybe like an impossible task for the following month. Yeah. And that's probably why you don't go above and beyond, because it's like a car company, right?
Yeah.
Where let's make fucking 1,000 cars, but the demand is only half of that. Well, shit, now you got fucking 1,000 cars just sitting around.
Fuck. Yeah. We can
you overexhausted your workers to do all this shit, and then you have this surplus of cars that aren't being sold. Fucking A, like what the fuck?
Now we're fucked. Now we got all these cars sitting here. We can't get rid of them. But if we would have only made 500, hey man, would have been good. But yeah, so that's why I think the Toyota way might be. And this, man, if people would have just, the financial industry would have done the Toyota way, man, we could have avoided that 2008 financial crash if everybody would have just fucking,
Okay, the irony of that part is that in the first part, the first principle is that you're supposed to look for long-term profits or like long-term goals, right? And that's not what people go after. A lot of people that are investors that, stockholders or anybody like that, or even companies themselves, dude, they don't look at things from a yearly basis. They look at it on a quarterly basis. So that feels like that shit goes out the window. And I don't know if it's applicable to now.
Well, what's his name? Not that I'm a fucking Elon Musk mark, but he said this tweet today that one of the things that is insane is the amount of pressure for short-term profits in publicly traded companies. And he's like, this I hate this. Like, this is an immense amount of pressure for short-term profit. That's all everybody cares about is what can I make right now?
Yeah.
And that's honestly like not the best way to run a business, is it, realistically, because you want to be like,
you're basically people pleasing.
Yeah. What can we do right now?
For the stockholders.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's because they want to have the most amount of money now, as opposed to, hey guys, this is going to be a slow 1% to 2% growth every year. But over the next 10 years, profits, we're going to be like getting 1% to 2% increases. But 10 years, our profits are going to be at 200% of what they are now. So
nobody wants to wait around to find out.
Nobody wants to wait around to find out. And that's why businesses fail within the first 3 years, because they don't want to wait around to find out. They don't have the money. They don't have the time. They fuck off.
Or the patience.
And they fuck off and shit goes awry. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm finding myself being invested in people that are shit, man. There was a whole, I guess we could somewhat transition over to this topic, because then I started looking into people, because I've been trying to find people to potentially have for the Without Censor podcast to expand our own horizons.
Yeah.
For interviews, just so that we're not too much on one subject, or that we're not too heavily invested in one subject. So I started looking at Caltech or some other universities / colleges and stuff to see what people are studying, man. And when I looked at Caltech's fucking departments and shit,
yeah,
oof, that was a deep reality check that not all humans are created equal. Because clearly the fact that things like, there was this woman named Kirby Nielsen who her whole field of study is decision making, I think, or something like that. Neuroscience, decision making, and how people come up with the decisions that they make for any circumstance, right? And there's like a whole thing about that. But there's also like neuroscience and computational science, or biological science with computational theory, or some shit like that. And then the person that I was looking at was this guy named Garnett Chan, who his whole field of study is experimental and I think theoretical chemistry. And there was like things about matrices and magnets, and I don't know what the fuck was going on. I tried reading the abstracts for the research literature. I could barely understand what the fuck was happening, and I probably didn't even get the full grasp of it because it's so fucking dense with words and shit. And I'm like, there's no way that people are created equal. I mean, could me at this age, could I possibly learn about these subjects? And not that I would want to be an expert, but could I come to an understanding on the level of somebody like Garnett Chan, who has his own research group to do these type of experiments? Who the fuck knows for what purpose? But yeah, like, are we capable at any stage of our lives of achieving things for people that are already probably geniuses to begin with, like at a very young age? Like, I don't even know, dude. I really don't know. I really want to believe that all humans are created equal, but I don't believe that is the case. Scott Steiner said it himself with Samoa Joe that evidently that is not that case, because you look at him
and then you look at me,
a genetic freak.
And yeah, that is, there's a lot of shit out there that none of us understand, right? And there's some shit that people are experts in, that like theoretical chemistry with computational theory. What the fuck does that even mean? Mm-hmm. First of all, you're telling me that you're doing chemistry that's not real chemistry because it's theoretical. It's not even proven that it can work, right? This is just a theory.
And experimental for things that have already been, because you imagine there's like applied chemistry, right? So if those are for the things that are known, but people are doing shit for the things that are unknown, and they have to prove that it exists, and then they have to test it. They're like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
How do you test something that doesn't exist or that you have no... And that's, I guess, why it's theoretical, right?
Dude, it is... What the fuck?
Man, it would be so fucking interesting to talk to somebody. But here's the thing. Here's the difference. There are a lot of people that are super smart, but completely incapable of explaining it to someone who is not on their level, right? Go ahead.
Okay, just to interrupt real quickly. I think that is a sign of a genius as well. Somebody that able to break down something that is so dense that taking those elements of what that subject is and presenting it to somebody in a digestible way, that is a sign of a genius. But at the same token, that subject is so, like what he's talking about, there's only so many people that could understand it to begin with. Like the school itself is already small because who the fuck else could understand anybody but these scientists? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it makes okay. A guy like Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? That's a good example of a guy who has the ability to understand some of these things, but then also kind of dumb it down for the rest of us and explain it in a way that idiots can understand, right? And that is, again, some people love him, some people hate him, regardless of whatever his personal opinions are about things and whether you agree with them or not is relevant. The fact of the matter is, dude is smart, and the dude can take the shit that's way above my head and dumb it down in a way that I can understand. And that's where maybe you can kind of open the door to some people who might not be as classically educated that have a high level of intelligence that, hey man, if you could just dumb this down to a way that I can understand, maybe we can push the ball forward. Maybe that's the next step of human technology, is somebody that's not one of these crazy smart eggheads that, oh man, I got some shit dumbed down to me, and then they just had an idea of like, hey, wait a minute, but what if we did it this way? And then fucking boom, boom, and then now you got this new fucking theoretical way of you got a new energy fucking thing or whatever. I don't know, 0 point energy or whatever the hell it's called. You have some unlimited energy source that costs nothing and pollutes nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm like, how? But how is intelligence? How does it begin, dude? Because there are people in the past that just fucked around with things, and then it led to some kind of conclusion. Oh, hey, I made an observation that this thing happened. If I do it again, it might happen again. But that was just for the fucking fun of it. Like that was just figuring out. And then there's just people that understand the nature of things just by, I don't know, that's the way their brain operates. So it's like, I feel like there's a part of humanity that just experiments for the sake of experimentation, and they find things out. They kind of stumble their way. But there's also the people that just know things intuitively. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, there's also a couple of different kinds of intelligence, right? There's some people that are intelligent in a way where, like, I guess with maybe like with us, it's like, oh man, we just can memorize a bunch of shit that people before us figured out, right? Like smarter people already figured it out, and we can just memorize and regurgitate it and kind of understand a little bit. That's one level of intelligence. Then you got the level of intelligence of, man, this guy is like coming up with new things and like understands it on a level that is just incapable of most people to get what this subject is. And so this guy's able to take that and then create experiments or create new things to say, okay, what if I try it this way? What if we try it that way? What if we do this? And hell, that's honestly the truest form of genius, is being able to understand the concept enough to think outside the box and be like, okay, wait a minute. What if we test it in this manner that hasn't been tested before? What if we try this test to see if this works this way? And then that's where I think a lot of problems in academia exist, where a lot of information and a lot of theories are stifled because there's like a dogma that exists within academia on a lot of subjects where they don't want to, because everything's peer reviewed, right? Well, if your peers fucking hate you because you're trying to change the fundamental, you have a theory that changes the fundamental way that things are thought of, well, they're going to try and figure out every single way they can to make sure your theory doesn't get through, or to say how it's wrong or whatever, even though maybe it does have some validity or some weight to it. So there is a lot of dogma that exists where people are just like, nah, go fuck yourself. You want to think about this in a different way? No, we've always done it this way, and this is how it will be forever and ever. Go fuck yourself. So that exists. But I do think, again, there's a lot of different types of intelligence. There's book smart, there's street smart, there's people who have common sense, people who don't. There's people that are the smartest dudes in the world, but probably like if you like they can know about what is it? And I'm not talking about this guy specifically, but they can understand theoretical chemistry with computational theory, but they're not able to figure out how to change their tire, or like they couldn't figure out how to like operate an ATM machine or something like that. Right?
I mean, shit, man. If I had a preference for things that, yeah, dude, I would rather be stupid socially, because at least the world would be more interesting through the eyes of somebody that's a genius. Because,
or maybe it's not interesting at all. Maybe it's the opposite. Because if you think you know everything, how interesting can things be?
I don't think you would know everything. I think it's your thirst for knowledge that would drive you to just continually be surprised by the universe itself, that you would never settle for, well, you would never actually be content with anything. You just constantly want to find out more shit.
Well, I mean, don't we kind of do that now already, and we're stupid?
It's true. We're like doing it on a first grade level as opposed to doing
it. We're doing this at the kindergarten level and maybe even preschool level if you look at the grand scheme of things.
True.
But we're stupid. So, I mean, I think that's pretty much indisputable.
I think there are different, I don't remember all the intelligences. There's spatial intelligence for people that understand like what?
I don't know why, but when you said intelligences, immediately it popped in my head. Oh no, the plural for intelligence is intelligence eye. And I'm like, wait, that's not right. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I even thought about that. I even thought about that. That's the worst part is I even thought about that shit.
See, we're the same kind of stupid. That's why this shit works. Like
but yeah, I do think there is something about multiple intelligences existing, including emotional intelligence, spatial intelligence, right? I think that would be pertinent to athletes, like that they can understand how to shoot a ball with efficiency so that they make it, numerous times or whatever, or how high they would have to jump for like a high jump or whatever the fuck that is. And then obviously there's people that understand theory or mathematical shit. And I don't remember all the intelligence. I know that all. So it's like life is literally like D&D, and you have characteristics or qualities.
Yeah.
Some people are maxed out in different stats.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, that's definitely true. Some people got a shitty roll of the dice on certain things, and some people got a great roll of the dice. Listen, you could have either been born in the United States and fucking been at this peak technology time and been smart and know how to use it, or you could have been born a peasant in the Middle Ages, right? Like you just got a shitty roll of the dice, man. It just doesn't. And what sucks is it ain't up to us. We don't get to decide. We're just shat out upon the world. And it's like, all right, bud, this is what you got to work with. Good luck. And shit, that's how it goes. But
yeah. It's funny hearing about, well, it's not that funny, but it is funny because even the talking about people, the number of people that could understand each other as a genius level intellect, that some of them don't actually live up to their full potential because they understand so much about the world and they realize how shitty it is. So they develop depression and they kind of dissociate from reality, and they don't end up doing a whole lot of productive shit. I don't know why, but I went down like a rabbit hole of like subreddits where people have been declared, or at least they've been recognized as a genius early in their lives. And a lot of people in the comments said they're depressed and sad, and they didn't end up doing anything because they never actually earned anything leading up to high school because everything came so easy. So they never actually developed skills to study or things like that. And they also don't, I think there's some kind of detachment from reality where they don't know how to function because.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's a very, very interesting thing you bring up, because I think that is true there. It's the same thing with athletics as it is with that intelligence portion. There's people that are just naturally gifted, and those people who are naturally gifted generally turn out to be ones that don't go very far, because for so long everything was easy and they didn't have to work for it. And a lot of times the guys with the least amount of talent are the guys who become like your Tom Brady's or your Kobe's or your fucking Michael Jordans. It's the guys that put in the work because they weren't that good and they needed to get better and felt like they were never good enough. It's those guys that become the legends, right? And people that were whooping Michael Jordan's ass or whooping Tom Brady's ass in college or better than them in college, and they ended up not going very far because, well, they never had to work for it. So whenever they hit any kind of adversity or some challenge, they just gave up because they didn't know what to do. And I think that's academically, that's something that's very, very real. I mean, see, I think maybe I'm a somewhat of an example of that, because at the young age, I was in all those fucking stupid GATE programs or whatever in like elementary school, like the smart kid shit. But then I'm also kind of an asshole. So like, I just figured out that all we were doing was just getting more work. Like we weren't learning anything different. We were just getting additional work. So I intentionally did bad so I didn't have to be in those things anymore. And fuck, look where I turned out. It's an idiot. Like that's like, now granted, I don't have this existential dread. Same thing. I just basically learned that you still get the same piece of paper, whether you got a 4.0 or a 2.2.0, right? You still get the same thing. And so because again, I'm also kind of conniving. So like, I just figured out how to do the least amount of work and get the same result. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah. It's like you want to find the most efficient way to do something. You give it to a genius because they're so fucking lazy.
Yeah.
That they'll do the thing that takes the least amount of time
the path of least resistance. That's my whole mantra, essentially. Coming up until Game Rage is path of least resistance, man. How can I make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort? And honestly, I mean, if you look objectively compared to people that probably, let's just say from like high school, I'm probably doing a lot better than most people I went to high school with, and essentially have done the least amount of work to fucking get that. And just imagine if I would have actually applied myself and actually worked hard, how much money I'd actually have now. Fuck. Maybe that's why they're all depressed, right? See, instead of depression, I turned it into rage and anger with like getting more money. So like that's where, see, you're right. Not everyone's created equal, because I was created better than them, because I didn't get the depression gene. I got the anger gene and just fucking get mad and just do more
straight
shit.
Salt.
Yeah. Salt of the earth, right? That's what.
Yeah, I'm still trying to man. If there's anything just as difficult to understand about where you are intelligence wise, is finding out who you are as a person. Like, man, if I had to, I'm still trying to evaluate like where my strengths and weaknesses are, because I think the only way that I could figure out what I do well is by hearing what other people say about me in some regard. Yes, like I maybe have some understanding like by myself, but I also, you kind of need to see, like, you have to check in with other people to say like, what am I fucking good at? Like, you know, I think if I have any type of skill, is that I'm able to process a lot of information. And I don't know how this is going to come out offensive. I know it is, but whatever, dude. I think I process information at an autistic level.
I knew where you were going. I was going to say, yeah, man, that's called autism. Like that's what you have like that is the one thing. I generally say that you're bad at everything and you're a piece of shit, but I will give you that, you know, you can process a lot of things, and you do have an ability to look at shit with like no emotion and just fucking just make decisions based on that. Whereas I'm the complete opposite. It's all rage, anger, happiness, whatever emotion I have that at the time. That's how I fucking make decisions. It's completely emotion based. Now there's the rational side that says, oh, hey man, you should probably just like, you know, like I know what the right answer is, but my emotional side's like, nah, fuck that. We're doing this. Like, and then I can combine that rational side to do something very fucking weird and conniving where it's like, it's aggressive, but also, fuck, you got me. Like that's what I can do pretty all right. But you have the like cold, hard, no emotions. Hey, these are the facts and this is the decision. Bam. Yeah. Based on shit tons of information that I don't even want to. I don't want to know what's inside your brain, man. I think I would die.
I also have like this contrarian thing, but not nearly as aggressive as some people. But I automatically take the other side if other people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. I will take the opposite stance because I think mob mentality is problematic, and that anybody that puts himself in a camp in the majority, that is problematic, because that's how we get situations where we can have like the Nazi party or like the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah. People are fucking dangerous in groups. And that's why I don't like when there is a majority.
Yeah. That mentality has led to, I think, a lot of great podcast episodes that we've made by not just agreeing with everything that whoever the other person is that you're talking to. Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, we do need that around, because as has been my past history, every opportunity I take, I essentially turn things into dictatorships that are brutal and fucking probably illegal. So it's probably good that you are not like that, because that will hopefully stop me from doing this and turning this into some sort of weird cult. But
I think if I had to also evaluate myself, shit, man, I'm glad this trait is starting to be eliminated. But I used to, and I don't know if it was because I don't think I'm a genius or anything like that, but when I was met with an obstacle, I think this is partly, I'm putting part of the blame on my parents, and specifically my father, that he was such an anal retentive bastard that he always wanted things done a certain way. And I think when it came to school, that I either because I failed some classes in high school.
Don't worry. I think we all did.
But the stakes were, I either got an A+ or an F. Because if I wasn't invested, I didn't want to try.
Yeah.
And now as an adult, I'm willing to fail because I think they provide the most valuable lessons at this point. And I'm willing to accept that. Like I'm okay with failure, but I was told for the longest time that if I didn't do things to perfection, and nobody could really do things to perfection, but like now as an adult, it's the only way to learn. It's the only way to really separate yourself from trial and error. I mean, a lot of the shit that we do visually to have our own personal brand, our own visual brand. I mean, a lot of it looks like shit when we started, and it probably still does, but there was incremental changes, and we could probably trace it back on our own Discord of how things evolved. And, and it all has spawned out of failure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's one thing that I think we also do really well is we adapt to failure and don't let it cripple us, I guess, because that's where our competition fails, is when they do fail, they go, fuck, I don't know what to do now. I guess we're just pack it up, guys. All right, let's all fucking head home. And we're like, nah, fuck that. Now we're pissed. Now we're fucking angry. Now we're going to make this work. Like, fuck you. We're doing this because we want to, not because of anybody else. So yeah, we have that ability to adapt. I think it's a good trait to have. Mm-hmm. And my toxic trait is just, I'm lazy. And I also gaslight people a lot. Like that's my fucking, I do it to Katie. I try not to do it to Katie as much, like, cause I know it like messes with her, but God, my sarcasm, dude, people, that is my fucking bad trait too, is I am
humor is supposedly a sign of wit or intelligence.
I don't know, man. I am fucking super sarcastic about everything. And I try to make everything a joke, and a lot of people just don't fucking get it.
I don't think people, I don't know if people are why. I mean, I think I heard a comedian say that sarcasm is like witchcraft. It's not, yeah, because not everybody understands it, and it's like it's kind of like
it's magic.
It's like an intangible thing that not everybody understands. Like, I mean, if you explain the joke, it's fucking ruined.
Then it's ruined, yeah. Like, I do love some good fucking sarcasm though, man. Like, and I have to be careful doing it to Chloe because she's only like 5. So
you don't want to shit. You might as well have her develop a mouth, because at this point,
she takes everything literally though. So like, what did I say? I said something about, I can't remember it, but it was something that I said I've said it sarcastically, and she was like, oh, what? And I was like, no, it's like, it's a joke. Like, it's not, And then she's like, Mommy, Daddy said that. And I'm like, God damn it, now I'm getting told on. This is fucking. I have to remember what it is because it was fucking hilarious. But
man,
I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
You never know, man, especially with dudes. especially with Dr. Disrespect, the fucking Twitch.
Fuck, man.
What the fuck? Okay. I don't actually know if it's confirmed, but it was put in the Bloomberg news site that there was multiple allegations, or at least I think there was 2 separate ones. One made by the Twitch employee.
Yeah.
And then there was one other woman, like in 2017. It was like a 24-year-old that he cheated on his wife with. But this particular case was about a minor that he was sexting with through the Twitch chat, or the whispers, which is like the DM portion of Twitch on the website, or even the app itself. This was said by somebody, and then it was other people that were confirming it. And then, man, I went back to go see. I went to see the live stream for when it happened.
Yeah, I watched it too.
I went to go see it because I'm like, what the fuck happened? I want to see what this guy's reaction. And not that I understand like what happened in that moment, because there's a point where he gets like real, where the mood or the temperature changes. Because I think it was like 2 hours into a stream, and then it was like the last 10 minutes when things started to go awry, and you just see him stare at his phone, and then he's like, guys, he starts sighing. He's like, he's like, guys, I had a vacation planned.
Yeah, and you see it in his attitude. He just goes like, fuck, shit, fuck, the jig is up. Fuck, they got me. That you can see that. And okay, here's the thing. I have no idea what the truth is, and I don't think we'll ever know what the actual truth is, right? Because this thing actually happened like years ago. Like the actual thing of him getting banned, it wasn't like this, he just got banned this week. It just came out of as to what the allegations were, because he did, as soon as he got banned, he sued Twitch. And they reached some sort of a settlement, which obviously those settlements are generally private, and there's NDAs and shit. So we won't know. Likely no wrongdoing was admitted. He claims that the Twitch employees were reading through his DMs and that there was nothing wrong about what he was doing, and that they just wanted to get rid of him, and that they used the fact that he was talking to some 17-year-old girl to just go through and just take that to the next level, right? Now, who knows what the outcome of that lawsuit was, other than just a settlement was reached and no one admitted any wrongdoing. But here's my whole thing. Why are you fucking talking to a 17-year-old girl to begin with?
That is the exact, because he wrote a long ass tweet.
Yeah, and then he edited it.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I read the whole thing, because that was what he recently wrote.
Because it's like, it's the script for every fucking To Catch a Predator.
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't going to do anything. Okay, yeah, I had this conversation.
Yeah.
He admitted to doing this.
He did admit to saying she was a minor. And then I watched a guy, because I didn't know that he had edited the tweet. I watched a guy reading it live. That's how I saw it. And then he was like, cool, let's see. And then he's like, oh, wait, somebody's saying that he edited the tweet after he's like, wait a minute, let me go back. And he clicks and he's like, oh, yeah, he did. He took out the word minor. And I was like, I wonder why he would do that. And I'm like, yeah, because you're literally the To Catch a Predator fucking excuse. Oh, we weren't going to do anything. I just had this bag of dildos and all this fucking beer, but we weren't going to do anything. Okay, man. Like, why the fuck were you talking to a 17-year-old? Listen, yes, it sounds fucking shitty, but if she was 1 year older, no one would care. No one would say anything at all, because that's okay.
Yeah,
I guess technically
in some way, yeah.
In some manner, I guess it's technically not illegal. Sure, it could be considered immoral or what have you, but the fact remains that the team that he was on, or the people that dropped him just recently, they probably know, because he's like, oh, we all decided that together. Midnight, what was it called? Yeah,
Midnight Society's game studio.
Yeah. Oh, we decided together that no. They told you to fuck off, because they're like, hey man,
he made that announcement before that they had. I think he made that announcement before, like he was trying to get ahead of the fact that they were going to come out with this and make it seem like it was a mutual decision that he was leaving. But then he also threw in the fact that he was going to go on an extended leave or indefinite hiatus, coincidentally throughout in the midst of his stream.
Yeah.
that this all happened in the matter of like 10 minutes, that he was just going to go on indefinite hiatus because he's getting tired of social media and also gaming. And what the fuck, man? That shit was, I mean, some people, there's this subreddit called live stream fails, and they're eating this shit up, man. They're like, this is peak. This is the peak of the subreddit. Like this doesn't get any bigger than this. It's fucking amazing.
We have now jumped the shark. This subreddit will be fucking going downhill from here and probably get deleted because nothing else will ever be this great.
I think the worst part is this dude has all the money in the world. He probably, okay, it's been said that he's cheated on his wife, right? Before. And I think his wife stays around because
the money,
right? Like the money's there. And okay, you cheated, whatever. Fuck.
Or maybe he gaslights her enough and maybe she believes it's not true. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay, and there's that. But the part that gets me is that there's literally numerous women you can choose from that aren't fucking minors. And yeah, you might be a shitbag or whatever.
For cheating on your wife.
You could still stream on YouTube and do literally everything, but you're a shitbag. But that's all you really. It's like a slap on the wrist, or that's your public image is tarnished, but you're still gonna make the money because there's a lot of zealots there.
Well, in today's modern society, cheating on your spouse is not even, that's not a career ender. That's really not even that big of a deal anymore, I don't think. Whereas, yeah, obviously the talking to underage girls thing, that is still a big deal, and it should be a big deal forever. That should never not be a big deal. So yeah, I don't get why the fuck were you even like, why would you even entertain this? Like, I'm telling you right now, if every motherfucker that baby sends us a message, I look at their shit and make sure, all right, let me make sure this motherfucker even looks or appears to be like under 20. I'm like, oh no, fuck, delete. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think the worst part is that for men, I think they put themselves, I mean, fuck, it's already difficult enough with like social media, right? That there's women that try to present themselves, or even girls that try to present themselves as being older than they are.
Oh yeah.
That shit's scary too.
It is. That's why you should just not talk to women at all. I mean anything. Unless they're 40, don't even try.
Yeah.
Just ignore, delete. That's how you don't get caught doing anything weird.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm condoning abstinence, but yeah.
Listen, I'm condoning at least just checking IDs. All right. Like fucking, you know.
Well, shit, even that shit can be fake too.
That's true, man. Fuck.
So like, it's almost like a trap.
Yeah. Well, so what do you, I mean, obviously he didn't say, oh, hey, she told me she was over 18. Everyone said, like, he's not even using that excuse, which I mean, that would be like, okay, cool. Maybe you could possibly get away with it.
Yeah.
If you use that excuse and just say, hey man, we were just talking, nothing crazy or inappropriate was said, or maybe some stuff was inappropriately said, but profile said she's 18. She said she's 18. At that point, it's kind of like, all right, maybe he really didn't know. But, or at least there would be something to say about that. But he's not even trying to use that excuse, which implies that he knew that this girl was under 18, man.
He definitely implicated himself, I think.
He fucked up. Yeah, he did. He fucked up. Because now we see you for who you are, Dr. D.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Dr. P is what they should call him. Dr. Pedo.
All right. On top of the fact that deal or settlement that was made between Twitch and this guy to pay out the rest of his contract, man, I bet you $10 all the NDAs that were signed to prevent any information was to prevent damage on Twitch's part. Because that shit would rub off on this happened on our platform.
My God, this dude was gonna molest this fucking person,
because it would not rub well on them either.
No,
even if they weren't even directly involved, but it was the fact that it was on their platform that this shit happened. But then again, I imagine this shit happens all the time, man, where relationships like develop between like the community and the streamer themselves, and you get into all kinds of weird shit, I imagine. But
yeah, you do. And then you really see how shitty people are, because then again, there's a lot of instances where this happened. There's dudes that have been booted out of companies because they were grooming or whatever, you know. That's a whole nother fucking bag of worms, because it's like, you know, they're under 18 and you're getting them ready for when they turn 18. That's almost even worse.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
It's like fucking what's his name? That weird guy, Woody Allen, who raised his adoptive daughter and then
married her. Oh yeah, man, that is fucking
feels weird, man.
It feels very weird. But hey, man, I guess that's I don't know. That should be illegal. I don't know if it is or not, but that should be.
Dude, as we stated before, possibly the potential title for this episode is that all humans are created equal, because apparently when you are in a circumstance where privilege with money or even social status, you get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But being a pedo is not one of those things that you should.
Hey, I don't know, man. Right? I don't know about that shit. I don't think that shit flies for any circumstance. So I don't know what the repercussions are for this guy long term. If this guy's just going to end up behind bars, I don't think that's going to be the case, because again, the rules do not always apply for everybody. But
I mean, that's true. But at the same token,
soliciting a minor, man,
I don't. Again, I assume that since some settlement was reached, that Twitch is not going to be able to tell the pigs, hey, this is what happened.
No.
So, I mean, I'm sure that's why that was done, was to make it so that he can't get busted for this one. And then this is the thing. Is there anything going to come out now? Is any additional stuff going to come out? Because now is the time. If you were, underage and approached by this fella, yeah, maybe now's the time you fucking make your story heard.
What a tragedy, dude. This guy was making some of the best shit on Twitch. You weird dude that has a persona that he won 2 blockbuster tournaments for some fucking, I don't remember if it's Call of Duty or whatever, but he's got his own lore and everything, and obviously very charismatic, but all fell apart, dude. And if anything, like wealth and social status just amplifies your shit to fucking 11 or 12. So you become a worse version or a better version of yourself with money and fame.
Yeah, true.
I don't know what that's I don't know how that'll play out for us.
We're definitely going to become worse versions of ourselves, but
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
But not like that. Not like Dr. Disrespect. It's going to be like, we're just going to be assholes. Like that's
yeah. I'm thinking
we're going to cut ourselves off from society altogether. That's
I don't know about that. I think I got some, I'll leave that for a private conversation. But if anybody's ever seen Jay and Silent Bob the movie,
everybody
they have like this laundry list of shit. Were you? Were you so and so on the internet? And did you say this on such a date? Yeah, man, that was me. Crack, just fuck them up. Oh, steel chairs, dude. It's gonna be great. How many people want to kick some ass?
Yeah.
I do.
When we go on the Game Rage whoop ass tour, we're gonna fucking bring tables, ladders, and chairs with us, and we're just gonna be fucking putting people through tables.
I am the table.
Yep. It's gonna be great. Anyways,
right, I'm good with this episode.
All right, cool. Yeah, I went an hour. So you got anything else?
Goddamn.
We sat down and said, look, let's see what we can do in 30 minutes, and fucking turned into an hour.
Yeah.
So God, just again, we're just getting better. Just getting better. So anyways, all right. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, go to GameRageMagazine.com, where you can hear all of the all the other stuff that's wholesome and wonderful for those of you out there. I believe the term trad is now coming back, or whatever, the trad wife thing. We have a lot of trad wife things. If you want to, yes, come Twitch streamers and listen to all of our
trad.
It's like traditional. It's like this traditional it's like they
truncation.
Yeah, it's like girls who used to be whores, and then they like they used to be OnlyFans girls, and now they're like trying to be like trad wives, where they want to
I've heard about this.
Yeah, that's like the new thing.
Some people have said that the theory behind it is that the money, they couldn't pull enough money as OnlyFans models or content creators. So they flipped the script
and say they found Jesus and, all the shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart. I mean, listen, that's good marketing. It's a good storyline, I guess, right? Everybody loves a comeback story.
It's literally going keel and then
turning face. Yeah.
Turning face.
Yeah. And getting the Jesus people on your side, because those assholes spend money like nobody's business.
But still using your assets, because clearly they're not shy with what they show either.
Oh, yeah. No, they're definitely taking advantage of that. And really, it's probably, at least with OnlyFans, you got an even exchange of money for titties. But now you get money and you're not even getting the nips. You don't even get to see the nips. It's fucked up, man.
You're getting wholesome ankles.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. Anyways, so yeah, go to GameRageMagazine.com to hear all our wholesome content. And you can go to at Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, at Game Rage Mag on Twitter /X. If you want to follow Adam over here, or Game Rage Hair as he's known as, you can go to fucking at All Gas No Trash Official.
Game Rage Derelict.
Oh yeah, Derelict. Sorry, that's right. We changed the name. Game Rage Derelict. You can follow him at All Gas No Trash Official, and fucking, I don't know. Fuck, that's it. That's all I got. Just fucking go there and just fucking do whatever.
Game Rage Bindle.
This has been the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Also on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also visit our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com, for a host of other podcasts and more. Thanks for listening.